Craftsman RER 1000 today. This is the standard MTD made Craftsman mower with the engine in the back. They make for many other brands such as Yard Machines, Cub Cadet, Murray, and many others under private labels. I'm going to show you what to do if your mower will not release the parking brake or if it will not go into neutral after releasing the parking brake. It's a pretty easy thing to do if you know what you're looking for. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy the content. As we go to check this out, if your parking brake will not release or your mower will not move on this model, if you're in the first, second, or third speed, sometimes if the belt and back is worn out or has any rust or the belts are all brittle, it will not move even if you're in gear in that speed. So I recommend people put it all the way forward, all the way into that 6-speed position. You have to push the pedal first in order to put it in that position and then release the brake after that. Otherwise it will not release. You can't push that without pushing in the brake. Once it's in that high gear, if you're in neutral, your mower should freewheel. It should go wherever you want it to go. That's not the case here, and there's a very specific reason for why this one is not moving when it's in the neutral position. The forward and reverse speeds still work perfectly fine here. It just will not freewheel in neutral. Sometimes what you can do, if you're just trying to do it quick to get it moved, is you can rock it back and forth while you slightly move. See how that's not quite in neutral? As I move it, it went into neutral, and now it's staying in neutral. If I go back into reverse and go back into neutral, I'm still locked into gear. Again, rock it back and forth as you're moving it. Now I'm in neutral. Now it's staying there. As I go back to reverse, or I'm sorry, into forward and back to neutral, it's not staying. Rock, and that's in reverse now. Rock, and find that sweet spot where it's in there. I'm going to show you how to fix this so you don't have to worry about that, and it is right, but this is a good and quick and easy way on any of these that have the forward and reverse shift lever, like the 7-speed Troy Bilts or Craftsman's. It's exactly the same thing we need to do to get this fixed. As we look at the very back of the mower, directly under where the hitch attachment is, there's a rod that goes from the transmission to this lever, which is what goes to the forward and reverse and neutral position at the front. So this is what controls where and what position that you are in when your mower is in forward, neutral, or reverse. Right now this mower is in neutral. It is actually in neutral, it's staying in neutral, but again, as soon as I switch into reverse or into forward and then back, it does not roll. So it's stuck at this point. What we need to do now that it's in neutral is we can take this clip off. It's just an easy clip at the back. It just pops right off, kind of pull down and pull out. And we can take this adjustment straight out. It just pulls out. And we know we're in neutral right here because it was still kind of freewheeling. Got neutral, and then forward is going to be, when I hit this forward, it moves this bracket to the left, which means the transmission goes this way. So that's going to be forward, neutral, reverse. Neutral, forward as it goes to the left. Neutral, reverse as it goes to the right. So we want to be right in the middle one, in the neutral, and we want to have the neutral stick up front in neutral, and we're going to line this linkage up with this hole. We want it to be perfect to where you don't have to force it to put it in there. That's pretty close. Maybe one more turn. See how easily that goes in? Make sure you're in neutral, both at the front position and back here, and we'll put that directly where it is. It almost looks like this is bent a little bit. These are normally pretty straight, so that may be part of the issue. But I think with just that little adjustment, that should solve our problem. So now we're in neutral, and it is rolling smoothly. Now we're in forward, it's locked in. Back to neutral, it's freewheeling. To reverse, it's locked into reverse again. You know that because the wheels are locked up. It should not roll smoothly if it's in reverse. Back to neutral. Rolling very smoothly again, forward, locked back into gear. It's that quick and simple to get this thing back operating exactly how it should, just with this linkage. Now if you get off for any reason, you can also do it another way. You can do it, you know, as you're in forward or reverse. So if we went to all the way to forward, which is actually where we're at now, and we take that out and we do the same thing with it, it should line up perfectly. Now this one almost seems like it's off just a hair in forward. It's kind of strange. It should line up. Yeah, it does line up. Okay. I was going to say, it almost seemed like it was off a little bit, like it didn't want to line up, but it does line up. Regardless of whether you do it when you're in forward, neutral, or reverse, it should always line up as you're going to put it in this hole with the corresponding gear. So we've got a Bilt 7-speed pony with the same issue. Now, if you've got that parking brake locked all the way down and in and you can't get it to come off, again, same process. Push the brake in, and the first couple speeds may or may not work depending on the age and condition of this. Move it all the way to the high speed and release the brake if you're not getting any action out of it. A lot of times that'll allow it to go into gear. Right now we're in neutral, but we are not in neutral. This is not in the correct gear. If I go back to reverse, same thing. Neutral, same thing. Forward, locked up also. So it will not go into neutral whatsoever. Sometimes when you move it from forward to neutral, depending on the situation, it may work here or there. But again, what I recommend doing is when that's happening, to move it as you're rolling it back and forth. Find that sweet spot where your neutral is, and it'll stay there always. It won't move out. That's our reverse. Yeah, see, sometimes it'll go in, sometimes it won't. It's not adjusted right, and that's what causes this. Many of them, they'll get in that really perfect spot to where no matter the situation, it will not move. See, there it goes in fine, depending on where it's at, but depends on your situation. But many times I see people, no matter the selection that they go to, they can't get it to move. Again, rock back and forth as you're doing it, and move it just a little bit at a time until you find that spot where it releases at. That'll get you freewheeling if it's something where you need to take it to a shop or something like that. This has some play in it at the bottom, but this adjustment's just a tiny bit different. So we're here right behind the left wheel. I've removed the wheel and tire just to give us a better view. What we'll do is you'll notice this bracket moves as we move this back and forth. We're going to want to be in neutral just like before, and then there's an adjustment down here that we're going to want to loosen in order to get that in the correct position. It's going to take a 1/2 inch socket and wrench. We will hold the wrench at the back side and the socket here, and we're going to loosen this. Loosen it just a little bit. Now we'll make sure we're in neutral here again. See how that can move? These two pieces can move independently for the adjustment. So we'll be in neutral. So we're in neutral, real good there. And then we'll make sure that this is 100% in neutral like it should be. That means that the wheels should be able to move freely if you've still got them on. This one, it has exactly the same adjustment bar on the transmission as the last one also, if you look a little bit closer down below. Same style bar and engagement on the transmission. Make sure it's in neutral, and we'll finish tightening this down. Now that we have everything where it should be, you can see that that has a little bit of play, but tighten it down when it's in neutral there, and you know it's good. And we won't have that issue anymore. It won't lock in to neutral when it's not supposed to. Make sure that's nice and tight, otherwise it will flex or move over time and you'll be right back in the same boat. Again, we've got this all adjusted. The parking brake is released. It's on the highest speed. Now as we're in neutral, we're in neutral. Now as we go into reverse, we're in reverse. As we go back to neutral, we're neutral. Forward's locked in. Neutral's locked in again. It all locks into each gear it's supposed to be in, no matter where you're at. That's how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to have to fight with it to get it to go into neutral. This one's ready to freewheel, ready to drive, ready to work exactly how it should, just like the other one we put tires on is. Hopefully this helps somebody out if their transmission is not releasing or it won't go forward and backwards with one of these 7-speed styles. These are very particular as far as where they want the gears at for these systems to work right on these transmissions. I see this dozens of times a year where people will call in and say, hey, it won't freewheel, and it's a quick adjustment like that. Or hey, it won't go anywhere, and it's just that they only have the speed on 1, 2, or 3, and it won't engage the belt for the drive. Very easy to fix, but something not a lot of people know as far as the consumers that are using this. Hopefully this helps somebody out there able to use their mower and able to know exactly what's going on to adjust it. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, or hit the bell if you want to be notified every time we release a new video. Thanks for watching.